Okay, today is April the 4th, 2016, and right now at 9:20 p.m. we have a barometric pressure of 30.02 here in the foothills of Los Angeles. We have a temperature of 61 degrees. The relative humidity is 44%, and the dew point is 39 degrees. All right, so now we're watching the Northeast Pacific water vapor loop. We can see a lot of weather offshore. We have this upper level low pressure spinning. This has a transmitter focused right down on top of that spinning core. We can see that outline right here, and that is preventing this tropical moisture field from feeding this system. So we've got several things going on here. We have also another tropical flow down south of Hawaii that is being drawn up into this low, and they've got there's a transmitter creating a channel of dry air right here so that this will not continue to flow up into the United States, mainly into California. We had a tremendous amount of chemtrail spraying later in the afternoon along the coast, and we could see that in the western skies because of this moisture field moving into the area. The planes were out spraying chemtrails to prevent this moisture field from delivering a change in our weather. We should have cooler weather and also some cloudy, damp weather from this type of a pattern right here. All right, next we have this jet stream that's being blocked. We see that not only is there a transmitter on top of this low right down here off of Baja, Mexico, but we have clockwise rotation up here, and that is going to hinder a lot of this flow. We have actually a blockade, a disruption in the jet stream, and we can see that right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these other maps. We can see nearly a straight edge right along here as well. And along here, this is man-made. We've got a radar up here, a transmitter that is actually separated this core. We can see that spinning core right there, which has been pretty much disconnected from the front that was part of that system yesterday. And also we have a similar situation going on right over here. This is building out into a right angle as well. Let's go back, and we can see that all of this moisture right in this area is quickly evaporating. And it looks like we have a fairly straight edge right along that line right there. Okay, so we had a lot of chemtrail spraying late in the afternoon today, and we will probably continue to see more of that tomorrow. Right now we have, this is the western U.S. Water vapor loop. We can see the extent of that jet stream flow right here. And we have a clockwise rotation. We have high pressure built in here right next to this low. And so there's probably a lot of wind out at sea here where these two, you got a high pressure and low pressure right butted up against right next to each other. That's going to create some wild weather. And we can also see these chemtrails right here. There's just a lot of aerosol spraying going on. If you go back to the, we can't see it. But right here we can see a lot of aerosols being laid out. And also right down in here in this area. We'll take a look at this on the SSEC map. Okay, here's the infrared loop. That upper level low right off of Mexico here is pretty much a dry low because of the transmitter is parked right on top of that. There's not any rotation visible in this view. If you go back to the water vapor map, we can see that the core of this is right about here where the pen tip is. But they've got this core heated so much with the transmitter that there's just nothing. There's no moisture feeding the system. Everything is evaporated. All we have here is an outline, a void of water vapor right here. And we can see those chemtrails being laid out right all through here. All right, here's the jet stream map. And we can see that disruption right here. There's Got high pressure parked in place. We have that low down here, and that's disrupting the flow here of the jet stream. Okay, next we have the surface analysis map. And we have that high pressure. It's been there for well over 2 weeks. 1,035 millibar. We have a trough shown right here, low pressure. And tomorrow we're supposed to have very warm weather in the upper 80s, I think. We have a gale out here, 980 millibar, which is moving to the northeast. We have a huge cold front shown with another low right down here. And so there is some forecast for rain. I think it's for Thursday and Friday. And we'll have to see how that unfolds, but we've got strong high pressure dominating right here. We do have a low sitting right here. This is 1,015 millibar low they're identifying right here with a trough. And we have a cold front right here. So we'll have to see what develops. But we have a lot of chemtrail spraying going on, so that will hinder any natural rain. We'll have to keep an eye on things and see what happens. Okay, here's the sea level pressure map. We can see the same view here, high pressure all through the west, or rather the eastern Pacific right here. Get that low up here. This is the 500 millibar right here. You can see that got that upper level low right down here, which has a transmitter on it. It's not intensifying. It cannot, because we've got all the moisture that should be feeding this system is being blocked. All right, here's the 300 millibar. We can see that we've got that low right down here. And they were talking on the weather about the system moving up towards California, but with the aerosols and everything being sprayed, it's very unlikely that we'll get any rain from that. We'll have to just find out what happens. We'll watch that trough and that low pressure in central California. All right, here is the SSEC water vapor map, and we can really see the aerosols being sprayed in this view right here. We have just a whole lot of chemtrails being sprayed all through here. And also right in this area right here. This is all moving towards California. This flow is generally moving towards the Southern California area and also Arizona. So we had pale blue skies most of the day, and as the afternoon wore on, we could really see the chemtrails. The jets were out spraying. Very, very high altitude jets. As I mentioned, you can't hear the engines. They fly much higher than the commercial flight, airline flight traffic. All right. So there's a whole lot of chemtrail activity. There's many, many jets out here spraying. You can see many, many lines here in the last few frames. You see all these lines here. Must be a couple of dozen right here. Okay, so we're just going to keep an eye on things. It's hard to say what's going to happen. This should be a real rainmaker. If they took the transmitter off of this, this would quickly develop. We've got jet stream flow that should be feeding this. It would spin right up, and we'd have a tail moving right into Southern California and ending the drought situation. So that's basically the long and the short of it. Our rain is being prevented. It's being throttled back by the people running these transmitters and coordinating the jets spraying activities. All right, let's look next at the tropical Pacific water vapor loop. This is a wide angle view of the entire East Pacific, and we can see a lot of favorable conditions right here. We have a lot of thunderstorms down here, and look at the flow is moving right straight towards California. And so we have all the chemtrail spraying going on right in this area, and that will hinder and stop the atmospheric lift, and so this moisture field will not be able to convect and generate any sort of precipitation because of the aerosols causing the inversion layer. Okay, let's take a look at this is the infrared loop. We actually have two tropical moisture fields. We have one here. This is the jet stream, I believe. Go back and take a look at that again. Yes, this is the jet stream flow right here, and then we have this other flow moving right towards California. So we can't seem to get rain, no how. Can't get rain to save our lives most of the time. And when we do get rain, it's, an eighth of an inch or a quarter of an inch. It's just nothing. That it's not a saturating rain, and that's because of the games that are going on here. We have transmitter right on top of this system. It's not developing. It's being snuffed out. We can see that very clearly. We can't see it in this view very well, but that low is there. Okay, so that's it. That's the summary, and we will do another update tomorrow.